Hello, and welcome to Beast Fables. This is a special episode with a little interim while our main caster are away. We are playing a little Scurry called Pride Amongst Crows. I am Brian, I use he, him pronouns, and I am the narrator of Beast Fables today. I run Dungeons on a Dime, which is a publishing imprint based in Scotland, making role-playing game content and books and adventures and cool stuff. I have a Patreon, I have a website, you're watching my show, I'm pretty sure you know who I am. I am joined today by three fantastic guests by the name of Fraser, Eve, and Letty, who will introduce themselves. We're going to start with Fraser, who has done this all before.
Yeah. Hiya, I am Fraser. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am an illustrator and character artist. You can find me online under the alias of Lost Astronauts, and you can support me on Patreon as well there at patreon.com/lostastronauts. And today I'm playing Stuan Fairtalon. It's a crow, poultice pounder.
We love to see it. Next up, we have got Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve Greenwood. My pronouns are they, them, and I do the webcomic Inhibit, and I also run the Scottish comics small press called Quindry Press, and I'm playing Suzie, the little owl.
Who will hopefully not be so little forever.
Claws crossed.
Big dreams.
Cross crossed!
And last, but very much not least, we have got Letty.
Hi, I'm Letty. I'm a comics artist and illustrator. I did the interior art for a TTRPG called Wonder Home, which is also little animal people type things. And I've got a webcomic called Owl People, which is currently on hiatus, but not for long. And my character is Myrtle, who is a Pygmy Shrew tanner.
Mm-hmm. Which is a very fun combination. I find that so exciting. We are on our way, journeying up to Sunperch in the Bristley Woods. The Bristley Woods is based on a real location in Scotland, and it is a massive forest filled with tiny beasts. So we're going to zoom in on this little map, and we can see here Odoak, the main, not capital, but one of the largest cities in the Bristley Woods. In our main campaign, it is the location that our trio of adventurous heroes have been trying to reach and failing to reach for the better part of 2020.
Brian, don't put us on blast here. Okay, the others aren't even here. That's just cruel.
So we start at Odoak and we make our way east. The path goes past Oxbridge, up the rivers, through villages, up curving mountains to Sunperch, not sacred's the wrong word, but a treasured place for all crows, and now for many beasts in the Bristley Woods. It is here that at the summer solstice, the Sunfest is held, a crow celebration of family, of love, of connection and friendship. Here, when the warm winds rise up off the cliff, the crows like to dance and sail on the winds, and it is the perfect opportunity to celebrate all the splendors of forest and harvest in summer. We are joined by our three beasts, who are all friends, reconnecting for the first time in many months since the long winter that has just passed, and coming to the festival at Sunperch. So we're going to move over to a blank canvas, so y'all can draw and scribble and look around.
Oh. Might move this to my tablet then.
We love scribbling during the game. So please, I'm just going to say, Fraser, you are the first to arrive at Sunperch. It is the very top, the very summit of this mountain. It is in real world, in the human tongue, it's known as Ben Lomond. But to the beasts, it's known as Sunperch. It overlooks the Crossing Loch to the east far below, which from its peaks looks like a silvery shining mirror glimmering in the summer sun. The haze of heat wafts and rises and shimmers as it does on hot surfaces, and it is a very easy kind of like soaring glide across the Bristley Woods over to Sunperch. Laid out on the mountain top, there are shelves of rocks, There are sheltered like encampments, and there are many, many tents sprawled out in a large kind of festival atmosphere. There are tents for feasting. There are tents for trading. There are places, special like rocks with cushions laid out for beasts to come and meet and chat. There is the great cairn stone in the shadow of Sunperch, a little bit lower down from the top. And there's also a working forge and, of course, the cliffs, the northern cliffs, that look down adjacent to Crossing Lock, and that's where all the crows and other birds now fly and dance in the summer wind. It is early in the festival. The competitions have not yet started. The parade has not yet opened. What are you? But please introduce your character, Fraser.
Oh, well, Stuan arrives, just kind of gliding through, and you see him kind of flying in with this kind of beautiful woven like waistcoat. It's got all these like beautiful blues and purples and things that like just match the almost like iridescence of his feathers. He's a very showy crow, so he comes in with a bit of pizzazz, doing a few kind of flourishes here and there, and just kind of lands and is just kind of meandering about, just seeing what's around this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We know through the markets and or the among the tents and things, and just seeing what's around, what's happening.
So you're moving through the markets, and there are traders of all shapes and sizes here with many of their wares laid out. There are potters with like teapots and cups and bowls and vases and sealing jars. There are glass workers, glass blowers who have like cups and vials and things to contain and jars. There are a few craft paws and Orebeaters who have different crafts laid out. There's gold snouts who have jewelry, and there's silver snouts who have little armbands and kind of claw anklets and things like that. There are the dyers, some who are offering like barber services, so trimming and shaping fur and then dyeing patterns into it. Others who have bolts of fabric laid out. And, of course, there are a few fair winders here as well who have come from far afield with strange and delightful spices and other small but potent goods that can travel well on wing. You can smell on the air, actually, a very tart and recognizable smell. It's one of your favorites. It's bilberries that's being stewed into a sort of like conserve / jam that you could eat with sort of like a rice pudding or like an oat pudding. They're tart, and they are they're really good at dyeing like the tongue and the beak and everything just purple.
Yeah.
So it's early in the day yet. I'm going to say like I'd say it's maybe like 11 in the morning, so it's not really like the zenith, the proper heat of the day has not really baking down quite yet. But it is very hot. And because it's a Scottish summer, it's also very humid.
Yes. I think Stuan probably gets his attention is taken by like some of the jewelry, and I think he'd probably kind of rummage around with his little beak, and kind of with a couple of feathers, just kind of rummaging through what's laid out, and maybe find a nice new what's it, like kind of ankle bracelet thing for his kind of claws.
Yeah, sort of like an ankle tag, like small and light, but very pretty. I'm going to say like a wizened old shrew comes out and says, "Oh, yes, you delightful-looking specimen of a crow. Oh, your clothing is so bright and beautiful. You must be looking for something to shine and polish, yes, to accentuate?"
It was very perceptive of you, yes. I mean, want to add to the collection, I think.
Ah, please spread your wings and show me your splendor.
I think with that, kind of Stuan will kind of flick a wing out with a kind of flourish of where like a wrist would be, I guess. And kind of like rummage around with a single pointed feather as if like a long feathery finger, and just kind of flick through and just see what's there, and we'll pick up like definitely a nice like silver, which I think would look quite nice with kind of purples and blues.
She gets out this sort of, I guess it would be like an armlet, if that makes sense, sort of like long, but you could like, if you press and push, you could like pop it on or off the thing, the claw, the arm, foot. Foot.
The limb, the part,
Leg.
the body.
That's the limb. The leg that's connected to the talons, yes. So it's like a leglet, armlet, and it's embossed very carefully with her wizened shrew hands, with a pattern of snakes writhing around rose bushes, and it is very pretty.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I want one.
And they have very tiny, no, this is animal size, extremely tiny chips of semi-precious stone for eyes that have just been sort of like dug into the metal. And you trade it for some precious like poultices that you've made over the winter. No problem. Definitely. So you've got this lovely, beautiful armlet, and it makes you feel even more gorgeous and stunning than usual.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your business. It has been a pleasure.
No, no problem at all. These will be perfect for my warts. And she sort of like greedily stashes away the foul-smelling pastes.
Yeah. I think if like crows had a nose that they could wrinkle, it would be wrinkling a little bit. Like, well,
your feathers fluff a little bit, and she goes, "Have a perfect sunfest." I
think you'll just kind of like quietly kind of start padding away.
Mm-hmm. And there are a great many different beasts here. You start to sort of like click, kind of click away off the through the markets, and you pass a pair of badgers arm in arm who have got some lovely brightly coloured shawls on. There's a grey squirrel who has got like a golden necklace and is carrying a large, I'll say large for a squirrel, like a barrel under one arm and a tankard in the hand, and sort of like happily walking along from one stall or maybe to another, who knows. There is even relaxing and lounging in the sun past the market, a lynx, which in size of animals is very big. It has a large red shawl draped over it, which has been stitched with green vines and gorse bushes and little yellow flowers. And it seems to just be contentedly absorbing the sunlight and lounging as cats are like to do.
Very nice, very nice.
As you walk past the lynx, it sort of shifts its head and sort of, oh, sorry, and sort of lifts up one paw, and from underneath the little third arch, proudly walks Letty's character.
Yeah.
This lynx had fallen asleep in the middle of your path to the festival, and with a gentle prod, and a polite question, it has moved, and now you have entered into Sunfest.
Great. Yeah, I mean, it was probably a lot more of an effort to get up here than for Myrtle than maybe for a crow or a bird that could fly. So I think she's kind of a little bit knackered. And she's trying not to show it because she's suddenly amongst a huge crowd and like there are people watching, so she has to look big and tough.
It's when you walk up like 10 flights of stairs behind someone, like when you walk to the top floor of a flat and your friend's like, oh, it's nothing, and you're like,
It's me during the Fringe with all the tourists going up all the stairs in
yes.
Edinburgh.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she's doing that, and she's kind of leaning on her. She's got a like very oversized and kind of probably very impractical corkscrew that is supposed to be her weapon, but probably isn't actually that useful for much. But she's leaning on it a little bit and kind of trying to keep moving, but also catch her breath a little bit and sort of look for somewhere she can maybe get a drink or get into the shade for a little bit.
I'm going to say that it might not be the most practical, but you're so proud of it. It's one of the most valuable things you've ever managed to like scrounge or find. It's Titan made. It's coated in this strange magic material that means it never rusts, it never corrodes, it never breaks. The Titans were these massive creatures that once lived in the land, but have now many, many, many hundreds, thousands of years ago left. And all that is left, all that remains of them, are their tools and their homes. But you have found this strange spiraling staff that you're not quite sure what they originally intended for, but you think you'll find a use for it. But you're using it as a little staff right now to sort of like prop yourself up.
Yeah.
Did you say that Myrtle had appeared just in front of me there?
Sort of, yeah. In the
Yeah,
adjacent
kind of.
scene, yeah.
Yeah. I think as soon as Myrtle was revealed, she would rush over and say, "Oh, Myrtle, fantastic! You've arrived! Brilliant! How have you been? How have you been?" And we'll extend a single finger feather, and kind of push them along and kind of bring them under his wing and "Oh, please, you've got to tell me about what you've been up to all this time. Oh my goodness, I've been so bored. Oh, I despise that. I've been looking forward to this all year."
Oh, the usual. Wrestling beasts and fighting. That length's not even the biggest thing I've fought this year.
You've got to be
It's-
joking.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess it's nice to take a break for a little bit. It's nice up here as she kind of wheezes a little bit and leans to try and get in the shade of his wing.
"Oh, you poor thing. Here." And he will kind of scoop you up in his wing and kind of pop you on his back. You catch your breath here.
I'm perfectly capable of. Oh, it's quite. I guess it's all right up here, but I'm perfectly capable of walking. But I like your waistcoat. It's new.
Oh, yes, thank you. It's brand new. I just picked it up from one of the fair traders earlier on, just on the way. It's,
Very fancy.
It's rather fetching, don't you think?
Yeah, very fancy.
Oh, we'll have to get you something. Oh, we have to get you some memorabilia for the year. Oh.
I don't really have much need for trinkets and things, but I guess we could get something, or maybe I just want to see the people and see what's going on. It's been a year out in the wilds. I feel like I've missed old civilization a little bit.
Oh, well, we've got lots of time to get caught up. Plenty of time. And I wonder where the others are.
Yeah.
I think at this point you kind of look around and you start scanning the skies to see if you have a third friend who might be around. Eve, do you want to try and describe your entrance? Is it going well? Are you landing neatly, or is it a little bit more chaotic?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but one of my talents is deft flight, and that's not what's happening right now. Suzie is completely laden with bags of things. She's quite clumsily, she's like a little... You look in the distance, you think there's like a moth erratically approaching or something, but it's just Suzie trying to stay aloft on the wind around this mountain. So she comes down, she's got like a huge bundle of willow branches over one wing. She's got a couple of pouches of things around her waist. She has a little metal hammer dangling off her waist as well, off a little belt. And when she lands, it's in a bit of a sort of a crash landing. You could classify it as a crash landing. And I imagine she lands a few feet away from you both, and then hops and goes, "Hello!"
I do believe if it's going to be an almost crash landing, that's going to be a roll of the Scurry die.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tag deft flight.
So if you want to roll 2d12, and we will take the higher roll to see what happens.
Let me remember how to do that.
So if you go into your chat and you roll and you do slash, roll, and then space 2d12. That should be fine. Oh, I totally forgot to say, we are playing on Roll20. Hashtag sponsorship. This is the natural, seamless, very easy to use VTT that will be having Scurry natively come to it soon. Scurry, the actual game, is releasing this month of June and is going to be making its way out. I actually ordered the books yesterday. So I've got the books and these little cute maps of the Bristley Wood and all this cool stuff happening. It's going to be in my house. And my house is going to be so full. Yes. But there's going to be a character sheet and fun stuff. So all of these cool things you've been seeing with these characters, when you've seen Myrtle and like all of the things that were out, that's going to be like, actually you're going to type that in. And there's going to be like a thing you can roll to get like the actual dice as opposed to just having to type it in. It's going to be really cool. But you rolled an 11 and a 3. So that's going to be a 11 we're going to take, which is a success, more than 4. You do as well as you can.
Amazing.
So you adjust the angle of your descent, and it's is going a little bit bad. You are coming down quite fast, and there is a lot of drag from the air rushing past you. You spread out your wings to feather your fall, to kind of make sure you have enough lift to stop you from just whoosh, crashing. And you sort of come up, you kind of have a low, inverse, concave arc. You go down, up a little bit, stop, and then onto the ground. And you're upright and very overladen.
I point my corkscrew from where I'm perched on top and go, I think that's our bird over there.
I think a nearby frog goes, wait, I'm gonna poke someone's eye out with that. Before wobbling on.
I'm gonna sort of gather myself, just kind of shake out my feathers a little bit. I'm doing this. I moved my arms so anyone can see me. Shake my feathers out a little bit, adjust all of my many belts, adjust the bag of willow branches over my shoulder, and just patter my way over to my friends. Hello! Oh, it's so good to see you.
What's really fun is that you adjust, pick everything up, and it's only a millimeter off the ground.
Yeah. I'm basically dragging it along.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, darling. Oh, we've been missing you. We've only just run into each other. It's been so long. How have we been?
I've been good. I've been so good. I miss you both so much. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you survived, I guess. What have you been doing? What is all this stuff this time?
Oh, this is for the competition. I've got I kind of shrug the little bundle of willow branches, everyone wants me to participate in the wickerweaver competition, but I don't really want to talk about that. What are you guys here for?
Oh, well, just here to celebrate and enjoy. It's, as crows, we love it here. It's celebration of the year. It's really the staple mark of the year. But, just glad to be celebrating and not stuck in the porters pounders and hoarding things and freedom. Feel the breeze on my wings. I can't wait.
Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds so good.
Yeah, it can't be too bad. I'm here to make my name. I'm gonna get noticed this year. It's gonna be the year that somebody pays attention and I get a good contract or something. So something's gonna happen.
But
sure
so no one's noticed you so far?
Well, I've been doing stuff. I've been out in the wilds, and I've definitely been in a lot of fights with fearsome beasts, and they definitely have happened.
Yeah,
and real. It's just I can't seem to catch the eye of any of the big shots at the Tanner's Guild. So I guess I'm. It's all kind of political. It's which particular beasts you happen to get sent out after. It's all.
Yeah, that's shocking. That shocks me. That's awful. I'm so sorry. You must not be very good, but I imagine you're a little bit good if you got this far.
I'm amazing.
Yes.
It's
just that they've not noticed me, and
yeah.
Well, if you wanted to get noticed, there's a very simple way we could do that. And Strum will kind of glance at gesture a wing over to all the jewelry and glancing to his new shake a little foot of his new ankle leg bracelet thing. We get you some trinkets that would really get you noticed. You could be sparkling as you come down.
Oh yes! Oh, what a good idea! I love that idea.
You'd be jingling and jangling, and you'd be gathering so much attention on yourself. It'd be brilliant. Fantastic.
You make so much noise when you walked.
That seems. If I'm making noise while I walk, then how am I going to hunt anything? Do you really think that's the kind of thing they'll pay attention to?
Yes.
Well, we'll get you some fancy clothes. We'll find you something. Don't you worry. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
You do know more about this kind of thing than me. I generally spend all my time out in the wild, so maybe that's it. Maybe that is what I've been missing. I hadn't thought of that at all.
Well, we can definitely make your presence a little bit larger, for sure.
I think it's already pretty large enough, and she gestures with her enormous oversized corkscrew and almost takes that other frog's eyes out again.
Yes, but you're very small, so we need to make you bigger, right?
Well, I think I'm a perfectly fine size. I can
you're fine. You're fine. fine size, but like bigger though.
I think.
Shrew starts kind of cackling a little bit, just giggling. To you. Oh, I miss you two so dearly.
Myrtle tries to puff up as big as she can, and it's still like the size of Susie's foot.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. What's the scale actually of like Shrew to Suzie to like?
Yeah.
So, a little owl is, I had this open, the height of a little owl, which about 20 centimeters
Mhm.
tall.
Oh,
That's not big. That's about the same size
Yeah.
as a crow. A
Yeah.
crow, I think, would be a bit bigger in terms of like mass.
Yeah, they like stand up a little bit more. And
I
yeah, a Pygmy
Duly
Shrew.
increased my drawing of an owl.
A Pygmy Shrew is about 5 centimeters long, sometimes a bit less.
Oh,
I
so
know,
small!
right? They're one of the smallest mammals in the world. They're really, really little.
so you're literally like the size of my like talon.
Yeah, she doesn't come up past either of your legs, I think.
No.
I feel like
That's
with good
adorable.
eating and like strength building, you're a really hench Pygmy Shrew.
Yeah,
But you're
yeah.
still very
Pygmy
small.
Shrew.
Yeah, she definitely does her best to be as big as she can, but that's still not going to be very big.
I love it.
As Myrtle sort of puffs up a little bit, Suzie is also kind of puffing up, like side-eyeing
And
Stuan
Myrtle
to be
then
like,
also
I'm
tries
also
to keep
big.
puffing up.
Oh, Suzie, darling, it looks like you're getting a bit bigger, darling.
Do you think so? Oh my! I have been waiting. Yes, absolutely. You're completely right. I have been doing my exercises, my stretching exercises every single day. I've been doing all of my leg stretches, my wing stretches, my neck stretches. I have been getting so much taller, and I'm so glad you noticed. Thank you so much.
I think your clothing's looking a little bit tight. I think. Oh, we might have to get you something new as well.
I would love that. Thank you. Yes.
Right. Well, come. Let's see what there is. Let's see. And Shrew will kind of usher the two of you like under both wings and start kind of plodding forwards.
I think you start to you do a little bit of like just wandering around. You know, that sort of like aimless shopping where you don't have anything in mind. You're sort of like seeing things and you're going, I don't know, is it really me? And then you walk on, and then an hour later you come back and do the same thing again. And you do this for a little bit to kind of pass time while the rest of the festival really starts to get going. And it's maybe like 1 PM. The sun is beating down when you really feel the energy of the festival is like here. It's happening.
Nice.
So I'm gonna click that one, and the music should be all fun. No, not that one. That one.
Ooh.
There we go.
Very nice.
Now there are beasts everywhere. You can hear ongoing competitions or people barking about competitions that will be happening later in the afternoon when the sun's not so hot. You can hear animals kind of like doing practice matches. You can hear the kind of the beating of hammers in the distance. You can see all sorts of things happening. So what would you guys like to look for first? The world, or at least Sunfest, is your oyster.
Suzie would like to make a beeline for the Orebeaters. The whatever competition they have set up, she is just doing the owl equivalent of a power walk over there.
So, is it I assume everyone else is following?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think,
I want to find out what is the deal, because clearly something's gone on with Suzie and like her
I think we
staff
both
during
kind
the
of
year. Yeah.
side eye each other like, oh, Susie's on a mission. Like, what's she up to this
Yeah.
time?
Let's see.
So you go towards the center of the festival where there's sort of like an animal directory. Sort of like a makeshift billboard has been put up with different plans and some maps of where all the different locations are. You know how like conventions have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you notice that there isn't a specific sponsored competition from the Orebeaters. Very curiously. Normally they have some kind of like who can forge a goat shoe the fastest, or who can make a chain as quickly as possible. Normally the Orebeaters, who are divided into many different sects for the different kinds of metals they work with, have some kind of representation, but this year they're quite absent. But you do hear forges, and you also see that Fang Keep, which is a sort of like a fortress in the north of the forest, is sponsoring a wrestling arena on a location called The Rings. All you can see is just an illustration of 2 animals on a wooden ring.
Oh no!
What?
Suzie just kind of like flattens dramatically to the
Oh,
floor. There's no ore beating competition.
Oh, but darling, you're not an Orebeater.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were looking for the wickerweavers.
I guess. And just very dramatically lying there, inconsolable but silent.
Oh, I love that
like-
you sort of like flump down and lie on the ground, and there are all these beasts like stepping over or around you.
I was gonna say, is she face down, just straight up face down in the dirt? It's like, no.
She is now, absolutely, yes.
Myrtle is kind of prodding anybody who comes too close, like, don't step on myself. Something's going on here. Give her some space. So
You're kind of keeping a perimeter with your very sharp corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
threatening.
Yes. Yes. What's going on? Like, clearly you're not into the wicker weavers. What's going on?
Susie's like mumbling into the dirt.
I want to return from the Orebeater.
I think
What was that, darling? We can't quite hear you.
I want to return from the Orebeater.
so.
no,
Whenever
move your head
something,
away from the dirt.
whenever something bad happens in Beast Fables, we mark progress on the progress clock, and the more bad things that happen, the eventually the Scurry dice starts to shrink. I think having not a tantrum, but a sad moment in a crowd is very draining for everyone's energy. So I'm just going to mark something bad happening on the clock. But
I would
don't worry,
definitely
keep
I'd
going.
classify this as a tantrum. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No, don't apologise. I lost it. And it's ringing.
Amazing.
I'm still mumbling. I'm not turning my head. I'm in here. I'm in the dirt. I live here now.
Dirt zone.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, you want to be an Orebeater. Any particular reason for that change?
No.
No? No, you just decided?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough, then we'll find some ore for you to beat and we'll make sure that people can see you do it. Like, it can't be too hard, right?
Do you mean that?
When have I ever lied to any of you? Myrtle lies all the time.
I was gonna say, I think you see Stuan like his eyes kind of like narrow a little bit, and he's just like,
Suzie turns her face out of the dirt and goes, "Never."
Exactly.
I love
Yeah,
this wee shrew. This
I
wee
know.
lying shrew. I really like that.
well, I think Myrtle's on exactly the right path. I think if there's not one here, we'll set our own one up for you.
Mhm.
You know, we know this is something that you very much want to do, and,
How hard can it be?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I hop back up. I'm happy again now. I'm gonna get what I want, so I'm happy.
Great.
in fact, I think actually, Stuan will kind of like bristle up a little bit, and Suzie, darling, would you like to do a small announcement? You know, I'm sure I could grab the attention of some people who would be able to help organise something. We get some more answers here.
And then, yes. Oh, would you really?
I don't know if crows can even clear their throat, but they're doing it now.
You sort of go,
And,
caw, 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 caw.
And I'm gonna like tag my startling call trait.
Mhm.
Like, attention! Calling any
All
Orebeaters in the
all
room.
eyes in the nearby area immediately just turn and look at you.
Yeah. Where are the Orebeaters?
He's like
anyone?
hopping to try and like look higher in the air.
Most of the eyes then just turn away from you and walk away. An attendant goes up to you, who's near one of the boards, who has like a bunch of different flyers, and they have a daisy chain around their neck, which is like the equivalent of like a staff badge. And they go up and say, well, what kind of animal is he trying to hang? Let me go to my animals. They are a newt, so they sort of like flip-flop over. Hello, how can I help?
Well, it seems that the Orebeater competition is missing from the list here. What's going on?
Because of interesting events that seem to be developing past the Green Wall, most of them have retired their forges this year. They won't be visiting. But you might want to go to the workshop pavilion. There might be an Orebeater there if you want to go say hello. But there's no competition this year, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, that's
Suzie
just
is
not good enough.
Suzie is off like a rocket.
Oh.
Oh,
I guess
God.
it's good enough then.
I guess one is better than none. No. Thank you very much for your help.
And the newt is like, oh, would you like a pamphlet about the... And you've gone.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm here every year.
Yeah.
And I think Stuan will take like a baked seed and just like plop it in the newt's hands, paws,
You
like digits.
do
I
newts
don't know.
have hands?
Yeah.
I don't think they've got a paw. I do think they've
No.
got a hand. I would
don't really know
classify
animal-
newts as having
animal
hands.
anatomy. Yeah. Whatever they have at the end of their
This is a
arms.
question for later. But you give the newt a seed, and the newt goes, thank you, and you sort of move, and you're gone. And then it's like, what do I do with this? It's just got a sunflower seed.
Yeah.
So you go towards the workshops, which is the sound you hear of the hammer beating, and you can see here a very curious layout. It's several small white tents, lots of tables, and you notice there are several birds here. They seem to be queuing up. Some are being attended to by a pair of badgers. They seem quite young. While there is a working forge and a larger, older badger is hammering at some metal that's hot on the anvil. The younger badgers seem to be sizing up the birds and stretching, like measuring, like string with units on it to sort of like measure and get sizes. And seem to be fiddling with some kind of mechanism on the table.
Did you say there was a queue?
Yes. There is a crow, there's a gull, there's a pair of skylarks who are chit-chatting. There's a merlin and a jackdaw, and the merlins are very affectionately grooming the jackdaw.
Suzie does join the queue, but she's hopping from foot to foot, going, ooh, ooh, like trying to like insinuate with every single part of her body, like,
Yeah.
please let me go in front of you.
I'm going to say time passes, which counts as something bad because it's your energy decreasing. So you spend a bit of time in the queue before one of the badgers, like a younger badger, comes over and kind of looks you up and down and says, "Oh, hello. You're here for a fitting, yes?"
No. I'm here to try out for the Orebeaters, please.
Let me go talk to my uncle.
Go tell your uncle how this owl is gifted with Orebeating.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you would miss out to not let her get the opportunity.
Big
it would
time.
be a crime if she had to wait till next year. So,
would
like,
be.
make sure you tell your uncle that. All right.
Yes,
I feel
do
like
that.
to
And also-
impress the urgency here, I'm gonna need a scurry roll from someone.
And also incredibly strong. I mean, look at her. She's
Look at me.
really gotten so much larger since last year. How did you
I
not miss it?
I can roll, and I'd like to tag my talent of dogged persistence.
Okay, yeah, roll.
Yes.
All right. So this is still a 12, right?
Yes.
So
So
our
2d12.
2d12.
Ooh,
Ooh.
11. You do as well as you can. The badger kind of gives you like cocks their head a little bit and goes, "I'll get my uncle. He'll know what to do." And sort of goes back towards the older badger at the forge, and they sort of patiently waits, and then the badger kind of beats some metal, checks one of the measurements on a near piece of string, flattens it, quenches it whoosh, in a bucket of water before sticking it back into the fire to warm up again, and then sort of lifting up a pair of goggles from their head and sort of like adjusting their thick wooden like bark apron and looking over and giving you like a badger squint, two little tiny black orbs for eyes, sort of like narrowing their gaze at you. And then with a sort of like a grunt, you sort of hit like it kind of the uncle badger gestures his head for you guys to come closer.
Waddle my way over.
Yeah.
Suzie, now's your time to impress them.
Yes, I will. I absolutely will. You're not going to believe it. I'm going to be so good. Thank you.
You've got this.
I do. Thank you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Don't take no for an answer. Don't let them intimidate you.
I won't. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that Myrtle's just like wielding the like.
If anybody comes too close, they get a little prod.
Bloodletting.
This feisty little pygmy.
Yeah.
So you go over Suzie, and the younger badger sort of wanders back to talking to beasts in the queue and starts to. You see like another bird has joined the back of the queue and starts to scratch down some notes on a like a clipboard before handing a slip to the bird, which it keeps in its beak, and then sort of going back to the birds are getting measured and starts doing stuff. You have the older badger, we'll call him the Orebeater, in front of you, for reference. He sort of looks you up and down, doesn't say anything, but gives you a long, hard stare.
Hello. I'm here to try out to be an Orebeater, please. I brought my own hammer, and I sort of like pull out my little hammer from my little belt, and I hold it up, all excited. It's not standard anvil size.
I feel like you sort of like dump your bag and then crawl out from underneath your bag and then pull out the hammer in one claw.
There's a bunch of like weaving material just strewn about me, and I'm just stood in the middle, holding this little hammer up like a tiny owl Thor.
Oh my god.
So you hold up the hammer, and the badger gives you a long, hard stare and says, I'm working on some specialized stuff. I'm not looking for new apprentices this year, sorry.
Well, okay. I mean, you aren't, but like anyone else in the entire guild, I can join. I'll be really, really good. I really want to do this. I think I'd be really, really great at it. I think no, I'm not taking no for an answer. And I go back. I turn around. I wink at Myrtle.
I give tiny thumbs up to Suzie.
The badger says, what do you know about hinge joints, pivots, and hot welding?
Oh, okay. A hinge joint. It goes on a door. Hot welding.
Then, go on.
It's warm, hot. I kind of look back again at Myrtle for reassurance.
I'm gonna say that like he gives you the worst kind of stare, which is not condescending, but like a step past condescending, where it's pitying. Like, oh, you don't really know anything, do you? And
bristles.
And that counts as something bad.
I kind of trail off, and then I like I hit the anvil with my hammer, and it goes like dink.
You hit the anvil, and it actually makes the whole of your leg sort of like vibrate a little bit. You know, when you hit something a bit too hard and you get that numbness.
Yeah.
And the Orebeater looks down at you and then sort of doesn't quite squat, but sort of doesn't try to tower over you, but tries to get closer to your level without looking condescending, and just says, I'm not looking for apprentices, and I don't have the time to teach. We're working on a lot of important pieces of work and prototypes that need finishing. Try again, see if we're here next year. There seems to be some kind of stirring with, I hear, boars in the east. If things go badly, maybe in the next year you'll have plenty of opportunity to help out at forges. But hopefully not.
But what about this year, though?
As I said, I'm not here to recruit. You can see me and my nephews. We're, and he sort of gestures his head over, and you see one of the birds is being fitted with some kind of strange metal skeleton. It sort of goes over one wing, and you go, oh, you realize one of these birds is missing a wing. And it seems to be that it's paired to the other wing. It's some kind of metal prosthetic skeleton that they're trying to size as a wing replacement. The badger says, this is advanced stuff and we can't afford to get it wrong. I can't be of any help. Sorry.
Well, if I may interject, Surely any help is better than no help, and I'm sure you can see that the enthusiasm is here. Our small and dear little Suzie here is, very large and very strong Suzie here.
Yes, large.
Very, very motivated, and is already a croftpaw and a wickerweaver. Surely, combining these skills, there would be many, many uses. You could work collaboratively. Think of the things you could achieve.
When you say like a craftpaw and a wickerweaver, because they are like sister guilds, Badger does ponder this a little bit and says, as a wickerweaver, you're good at manipulating fabric and wooden struts and things like that. We're trying to recreate wings here. We can't replace flight feathers, but we might try with little wooden scaffolds and fabric. How do you think you'd help a bird fly again after an unfortunate incident or circumstance?
Susie's eyes just sort of light up, and suddenly she's standing to her full, sort of drooped while, the rejection was happening, and now she's back to her full height. She goes, oh, well, absolutely, I think I could, this, it's all about the fabric, and it's all about the weight of the feather. The kind of feather is really, really important. I see badgers don't have feathers, so you wouldn't know this sort of thing, but I'm a bird, and I do know this sort of thing, and I could make sure you manipulate the fabric in such a way that it would replicate the shape and the size and the weight of the wing, and I can do all of that. I can do all of that so easily. Just look! And I sort of plonk myself down. I immediately get some branches out and frantically start weaving right there and then to try and impress.
That's going to be a scurry roll for me. Do you want to tag anything?
Rapid weaving.
Okay, yes. Roll 2d12.
That's so perfect.
Right away.
I like to imagine it's like the Breath of the Wild when you're like cooking. It all just gets thrown in. It's like ding, 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 ding.
It'd be so funny if you rolled like a 1. Both ones. Because you rolled a 9, but if you rolled 2 1s, it'd be like when you get like the, what is this? And there's like a, and then like a puff of smoke, and you have got the skeleton of a wing. You've kind of put some branches together, and you've managed to put them in such a way that when you flap it, it goes. And the badger sort of looks at this and goes, no, I'm not promising any apprenticeship. I'm not promising work, but if you want to come back and advise, oversee, see if you're relevant, then I would be open to that. We're going to be here all week. The festival isn't just today. Why don't you have a walk around the fair and see if there's any other guilds that might be a bit more close to your skill set, and see if you'll fit.
But you did like my wing. You did like it.
And the badger gives you a little like half smile and says, it is a nice wing.
Okay, I will be back later.
I think Stuan will like hold out his wing at the same time, just to like compare, like just like a kind of like hint towards like it looks pretty good,
And Myrtle's like gesturing between them like they're the same. It's the exact same. Oh my god.
I love this, just like doing the Spider-Man point, just like look at these two.
And at this, the badger kind of gets a little sparkle in his eye and says, Crow, you aren't taking part in the competition today. The flying? Would you?
Oh, well, if you're insisting, then of course.
I wouldn't put any of our... no, this is me, Brian, struggling for the word. It wouldn't be custard, it wouldn't be patient. Person they're helping. What's the word?
Client?
Client, yeah.
Client. I wouldn't put any of our clients through strenuous flying with a brand new prosthetic, but well, if you were to wear a prosthetic, you would already be able to fly and trust on your wings. It would be good to see it put through its paces without too much stress or danger. If you were to wear one of our prosthetics, we could see if the hinges hold up under repeated flapping and, well, at least get some kind of information. And, Suzie, did you say your name was?
Yes, Suzie Pebbleclaw.
You could, if you were to fly along, you could see if it holds up, if it needs any strengthening and give feedback, yes?
Yes! I'm instead of clapping excitedly, I'm like patting the ground like a seagull trying to get worms up.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. That's how
yes.
birds clap. It's like pop, 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 pop. I love that.
And with a sort of like a decisive like snap of his teeth, the Orebeater sort of like yells over your heads and goes, "Jeremy, over here!" And sort of one of the younger badger goes, "Oh!" and sort of like hotfoots it over. And very promptly, you, Stuan, are fit with a prosthetic skeleton over your wings. It's a little heavier than you're used to, but you think it could be stylish.
Yeah. Oh, this is maybe not exactly my aesthetic, but with some tinkering, I'm sure we could make it fit. But you know, I mean, he'll kind of like stretch out his wings a little bit and kind of like flourish with both ends of his wings and kind of just test the kind of flexibility of it.
As you stretch out your wings, the Orebeater kind of actually just takes one of them and then sort of just bends the metal a little bit to make it fit better. But it's a little quiver in your stomach of like, uh-oh, is he going to snap my wing? No, it's fine. He goes,
oh, please, no.
Better.
Oh, actually, yes, you're right. That's got much better flexibility there. Fantastic, thank you.
You look great.
Yeah, it looks
Perfect.
very cool. You almost
matches
look
my new-
formidable.
Oh, that is not a word I've been used to describe me before, but I'll take it. One for the repertoire.
And with that, the badger kind of says, I've got a lot of work to do. I have many different clients to see. This is the best opportunity to have everyone in one spot and to get all these measurements. So, politely, fly off.
Yeah, oh, well, fine, I guess. That is what we'll be doing.
So you are very politely shuffled to the side by one of the nephews who sort of explain how the prosthetic works and how you should, like, it's connected to like the different bones with little straps that kind of go around and under the feathers, and so that it will move when you move and stuff like that. And you are given the prosthetic. What do you guys want to do now?
Well,
We'll say that the flying competition is in a few hours. It's in the middle of the afternoon, when the warm winds rise up off the cliff at just the right speed.
well, I think we've got some time to get you noticed as well then, Myrtle. Surely we can hunt people down.
Yes, I saw some. I'm in such a good mood now that I've got what I wanted. I saw some really nice jangly jewelry back there. Let's go get some for you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you really think this will work?
Oh, yes, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
And if not, you'll still look fabulous.
Yeah.
It's never
I mean,
a bad
I
thing.
guess. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah,
Go
okay.
on, lean into it. You know you want to.
So, what's your favourite metal? Copper, silver, or gold?
Copper.
So, you go back to the wizened shrew, who sort of sizes you up and says, "Oh, you want Bertrand? Just over there." She kind of points out one. She's like 30 or 40, and she's just got like this like wrinkled crane figure, and goes, "Over there." And you go over to Bertrand, who is a much more put together, we'll say. I'm going to say that they are a otter, and they are well groomed. They have pierced ears and shaved forearms with tattoos of
That's so cool.
otters
Very
playing in the
cool.
water and seagulls. And it's not shaved, but like cropped short. So they still have like the waterproof effects that when they swim, but it's sort of like you can see the almost like ripples of water underneath, like the patterns.
That's cool.
That's really
And
cool.
the otter kind of leans down and they say, "Oh, yes, how are you doing? I see that a good friend sent you over. She is quite enthusiastic."
Yeah.
Oh, very. And tenacious as well.
But a delight. So, we're looking for lovely coppery goods. Mine are all sealed with beeswax, so they won't make your fur green. Please have a display. And he sort of gestures you over to the smaller side, where what would be for say like a wildcat or a lynx or a one of the larger beasts, a badger, like would be earrings.
Aw.
The same stuff turns into like belts and armlets and
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a talon ring becomes like an armband or something.
Yeah.
I love that.
What is the loudest item you have for sale?
Visually or audibly?
Audibly.
audibly, and sort of fishes through and collects together some stuff and sort of clinks them, and I do some ASMR, but I don't actually have any jewelry on me. And then goes,
That was pants.
Very good.
you know what? I think this calls, because I'm going to assume that you guys explain the purpose is to be showy and bright and beautiful. This calls for something custom. And the otter turns back to their tent and sort of grabs out like a wheel of copper wire and chain and starts to size you up. And if you allow this, Myrtle, you are covered in like copper belts and chains and armlets, and they all jangle and clink and ring as you move.
Yeah.
And they're quite
She's
light,
very
but they're all very
about this.
flashy.
But she's also like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be the most flashy shrew in the world. So yeah, yeah, okay.
My thinking was that it'd be like you get really chunky armbands to make it look really like hench. You're just like really like chunky, like look at these biceps.
It's sort of like you're wearing, without like the under padding, wearing like ringmail armor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, armor.
Except it's not like small rings interlocked, it's like rings that are around you, like banded armor. Like a tiny copper armadillo.
Yes.
Oh my god, amazing.
It'll be unstoppable. Yeah.
And it's a little difficult to maneuver. There's a little tightness, but you're like, It makes you put your arms out to be all like hench.
Yeah. Yeah. She walks around like one of those guys with massive biceps who can't put their arms down.
Oh my god.
Yes. And you definitely can't reach your back.
Yeah.
You look perfect.
I feel
now
strong.
this-
I feel
this
much
is-
stronger.
You look stronger, and you look
You
bigger
look
too,
so
which is
much
important.
stronger.
Okay.
Exactly. You almost look like a threat. More of a threat even. I wouldn't dare mess with you.
Myrtle tries to like turn really sharply, but it's still quite heavy, and she's not quite getting used to. She kind of almost overbalances, but sort of just about.
I've
a lot
been
of
playing
clapping.
a lot of Dark Souls recently, and all of the movements in that game are so over exaggerated. So you sort of like you lunge and stab forward, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's quite a big change because she's used to being tiny and very
And
quick.
nimble.
So she's very much like every movement is super considered now as she kind of figures this all out, and a lot of planking is great.
Yeah. The otter. So I'm going to say you trade some various things with the otter for the equivalent of this copper, of the weight of it. And the otter says, if you're looking to prove yourself, you should go over to the wrestling rings. I hear it's a good time. I'm going to be going over when my boyfriend comes and swaps with me.
Yes, that's where we're headed, guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this will be a grand show.
Yes, it will.
A delight! And I think he'll like start like clapping his claws again as well, or like clapping his wings and his claws at the same time. Like I can't wait.
You're all
to see
jangling.
We're hyping Myrtle up so much.
Oh my god, we're gonna yes! Like, come on, you can do it.
The otter is like jangling along with you and like, this is going to be fantastic. I'll be rooting for you. And then like all convention stalls goes, this is amazing. A new customer. It completely pivots and starts talking to someone else.
By this point, Myrtle's already kind of clanking her way away. She's ready to go.
So you clank your way to the rings, as it says on the large map. And when you get there, you see it is a large, shallow, smooth stone bowl that's been carved into the mountaintop. And set up over the bowl is a wooden scaffold at various sizes. And the idea is, I'm kind of drawing it in side view, but there are many different wooden rings set up in such a way that they can be raised or lowered like a platform. So that when they're all together, they make a stage, but then they can be split and divided to have only one of the rings up at a time. And they get thinner and thinner and smaller the closer you get to the center of the circle. And they all hover over this large, shallow pit.
Okay.
And you see that the larger of the rings is out, and two squirrels are currently going back and forth around just a single ring that's slightly raised above the others, and are wrestling and trying to push each other off the ring.
Right.
That'll be you in a second.
Yeah. Except there won't be as much of a fight as those squirrels are making of it. It'll be
Not
easy.
at all. Yeah.
I've got all this weight. I've never had so much weight behind me before.
I know, you're
There's
so
a lot
big
of-
now.
There's a lot of like
formidable.
cheering from the crowd. All sorts of different beasts are around. There's badgers and hedgehogs and lizards. There are some wrens and swifts sort of like circling above. One of them is commentating and sort of like, Redbacker's got the lead, and in a chokehold, and oh no, it's released, and oh no, and then eventually one of the squirrels flips onto their back and then kicks the other off, and then the squirrel goes and flails, goes over the side of the ring, and then slides down into the shallow bowl. Isn't hurt, but has lost the match.
Right.
And there's like a little portion of a break as more contestants are found. There seems to be like a general stand to go and register. And you see that there is two feisty wildcats are jovially bashing each other as they get up to sign up for a competition. You also notice... I'm just going to say... You notice that there are different... there's beasts of all shapes and colours, but there are a couple beasts in the regalia, very specifically of a couple guilds in the crowd.
Ooh. Ones that we would notice as...
I'd say there... So, you, Suzie, very specifically noticed that there is an Orebeater in the crowd who's watching and has their hammer by them, beside their seat with their hand resting on it, looking very much like an Orebeater who is watching this. You notice there are a few mercenary guilds of people who patrol the roads. There are the Landstriders are here watching people fight as well. There are a shipping guild, or more like a merchant guild, kind of moving goods from one place to another. All sorts going on.
I think Suzie has made up her mind. As soon as she and Stuan go and get seats, she's going to make them sit next to that Orebeater. So she's kind of like, okay, go sign up now. Okay, let's go sign up now. Come on.
Yeah, Myrtle kind of makes a beeline straight for her and kind of tries to sort of shoulder aside the wildcats if she can manage it.
I'm going to say that's going to be a scurry roll.
Okay,
I
cool.
love the picture of Myrtle just like charging through like right in between them and like shoving them both out the way.
Yeah.
Tiny little thing is like, "Huda, huda." They just roll in different directions.
One.
Still a D4. Nice.
So that is a 7. Oh, that was a d20 you rolled. You need to roll 12.
Shit, yeah, sorry about that.
It's muscle memory, to be fair. I kept calling them like ability checks or asking for persuasion rolls when I first started.
I'm glad you spotted that because I wouldn't have noticed. Okay, let's try that again.
Oh, 9,
Hey.
perfect.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to say something bad happens because of this. You muscle forwards and you prick both the cats out of the way. They go, ow, what the? And they sort of look very confusedly, you very determinedly like clink, clonk, clink, clonk, clink, clonk. Move your way through and then hop and then use your corkscrew to like donk onto the side of the table and then leverage yourself up in front of the, I'm going to say the hair that is sort of like keeping all of the charts organized for who's going to be wrestling next. And you get daggers in the back of your back. Not that you can tell because they reflect off your shiny copper carapace.
Not that I can fully turn my head to even see them.
So that means the die shrinks from a d12 to a d10.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of bad will, but you shrug it off. You're fine. You're fine.
What
You
could
gotta make
possibly
some
go
enemies
wrong?
in this business.
You've faced worse. The hair goes,
Absolutely.
all right, how you doing? You here for a wrestle?
Yeah, Myrtle, I need to register for the next fight you got me.
All right, Myrtle. Have you got a stage name? Like Myrtle the Merciless, Myrtle the Murderer?
Oh.
Myrtle kind of goes blank. She had not considered this. She hadn't thought this far in her elaborate plans.
Well,
Myrtle the Meanie.
Myrtle the Meanie's pretty good. Myrtle
Okay.
the Murderer. No, that's a bit too much. Isn't it?
Mean
Yeah.
Myrtle.
Mean Myrtle. Mean Myrtle.
Maniacal Myrtle.
And he kind of goes back and then sort of squeezes in where he's written Myrtle in the first column and goes, Mean Myrtle. Perfect. And he sort of like gets out a wooden stick that's got different notches for size category and holds it up and goes, do you want to fight Dangerous Doris or Vicious? No, it's too big. Yeah.
Too big is not an object, mate. I'll take on anybody. Don't you even worry about it.
Look at her. She's so scary and loud.
We've got Vicious Vicky. And kind of points out Vicious Vicky, who is the squirrel who has just won.
Suzie gasps.
Myrtle looks up at Vicious Vicky and goes, yeah, easy.
Okay. So the hare kind of gives like a cheeky little grin and goes, alright, here's the rules. No weapons, no biting, no eyes. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Can't use your eyes.
No going for the eyes, no gouging, no clawing, none of that. This is a friendly fight. It is the first to get the other off of the platform.
Right.
Because Vicky is a little bit bigger, we're going to be using the small medium ring as opposed to the small ring for this, which is, as he points out, the ring that you saw them wrestling on before.
Oh, right.
Size
Cool,
like
yeah.
rats and squirrels as opposed to for voles and mice. And that's pretty much it. You'll start opposite sides of the ring, and if there's no contact for 30 seconds, it's a draw.
Cool. All right.
Any other questions?
No, I just go up there, and Myrtle's already kind of headed that way.
And he kind of the hare goes, wait, we've got a couple more bouts, but you can feist yourself up in the meantime. I'll go let Myrtle know that she's got another contestant.
Yeah.
So
Don't say Vicky.
not Myrtle, Mickey, sorry. Not sharp on my names while I write them all down.
Nice.
And the hare sort of like gets up and then trades. He sort of gets up and then puts like a bundle, like an actual basket of little hares on the seat, and they all have little flags that they're waving, multicolored flags, and they all like start yelling, "Back in a minute! Back in a minute! Back in a minute!" at the beasts in the queue, including the two cats, and they go, "You stay here, poppets." And he sort of like wanders off to go find Vicky.
So cute.
Yeah.
Adorable. Oh.
One of them is trying to like yell back in a minute, but has like a full mouth of like carrot and apple, and it's like.
Oh. Right. We've got to go and get you ready. Oh, right. Come over here.
Okay.
Just like start hyping you up. Like, okay, you need some catchphrases or something. You know, something that's going to strike fear into the heart of your opponent. I mean,
What's the scariest thing you can think of?
How about don't mess with Myrtle, or you're going to get hurtle.
Oh, that's so good.
Watch out. The shrew's gonna get you. That's not very good.
Oh, the mean shrew coming for you.
Mean shrew coming through. That's brilliant.
Ah!
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
I may be small, but I beat them all.
Oh, we're so good at this. We're so good at this, Suzie. Yes. And you've got to say it with great conviction and be loud and big and proud. And I'm sure you're going to pick up the attention of some fine tanners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you going to do if you can't use your corkscrew?
I'd usually just kind of climb them if they're bigger than me.
Wow.
And yeah, like
Myrtle,
the
you're
squirrel,
so
they've got
cool.
a big tail. I can get hold of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shouldn't be too hard.
You'll be shiny now, and so it'll be so much easier for them to spot you.
They'll know exactly where you are.
Exactly. Oh, I can't wait to see you do this. I can't wait. I've not seen you do this in person. I'm so excited.
Oh, you're in for a treat, guys. It's gonna be amazing. Like, yeah.
Before you know
it'll be quick.
Before you know it, the two bouts between a pine marten and a rat, and another between two hedgehogs have passed. The hedgehogs ended in a draw. They both had like little cloaks on and little matador hats and stuff, and it all just turned into felt. And it came as draw when they couldn't move.
Oh my god.
It's now your turn. You see, you kind of have one of those like strong, like standoff moments, like through a gap in the crowds. You see Vicious Vicky sort of give you a little glare.
Yeah, I glare right back and do the thing where you point at your eyes and then point at them.
Mm-hmm.
What does Vicky look like? Is Vicky like more in
Vicky
the like
is
rough and
a
tumble
grey
side?
squirrel, is missing one ear, and has on a very tight red binder that kind of just is over the chest, like a compression binder that is stitched with orange swirls. And they also have some... they've got their big fluffy tail is not tightly, but compressed with like tape so that it's not getting in the way.
Smart.
Cool.
Sort of like you know how you tape boxers' hands?
Oh my
But
god.
with
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Great.
Vicky kind of sees you do the thing, goes, "Argh!" and then scrabbles up the side of the scaffold towards the ring. You see the hair kind of coming over to you, and the one of the turns who's in the sky has landed on the ring, getting ready to announce the next match.
Cool. Myrtle kind of tries to scrabble up as quickly as Vicky, but obviously it's not used to this new encumbrance, so it's maybe not quite as graceful as she usually would be. But she's scrabbling up there as well.
Good luck, Myrtle. Good luck.
You've got
I
this.
want you to make a D20 roll, not D20, D10 Scurry roll for me. See, I'm getting confused now as well. To see how well you are getting up the scaffold.
Yeah.
With us calling it out of encouragement, would that help at all? Or distract?
I don't think it helps with the climbing, but you could try and tag something if you want.
Yeah, what are my tags again? Let's see. I do have quick feet as a trait. Is that of any use?
Quick feet. I think yes, but
Okay.
it would be hilarious if it goes wrong.
So does that mean I roll 2?
You do roll 2, yes.
Cool.
Ooh, 5. That is a success.
Okay.
You do as
Okay,
well as
cool.
you can. It takes you 1 or 2 tries to get a grip because you have to sort of like really get your claws to be close enough to the wood. You manage to get yourself onto one of the corners and you scrabble up the side of it, and you do make it onto the top. You get onto the ring, and the turn kind of looks over at Vicky, who nods the turn, and the turn looks over at you to see if you're ready.
Yeah, I nod.
You
I
nod.
roll.
You sparkle as you do, and the turn says, all right, you lot! Quiet! Shut up! And sort of looks down at like a pair of voles who are like squeaking and squabbling about like who they're betting for, and then the turn pecks in between them, and they'll go, oh! And they will freeze and kind of like look harmless, like the hamster, and like when in the video goes like, bang!
Yeah.
And they sort of pause, and there's silence at the beginning of all matches, and the turn says, all right! We got a match between our current reigning medium-small champion, Vicious Vicky! Whoa, oh my god!
Boo! No.
Ooh, I want,
Stinky Vicky.
I want a scurry roll from you guys to see if you can get a boo going.
Wait. Can I use my startling call to like amplify it at all?
Okay, but again, I think we go hilariously funnily wrong if it does go wrong.
Okay.
So make a 2d20.
2D10.
2d10, sorry.
Okay. Do you want to do it,
I know
Eve,
I'm
or?
I don't have anything. I can roll, but I don't have anything that will.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I cannot tag.
I think Fraser, you should roll because you're the one tagging.
Okay. I thought the Scurry sheet
Ooh,
open.
2 successes, yes.
Nice.
I'm gonna say it's only one voice. You do boo, and people are like, oh, yay, boo, around you. So I'm gonna say that there's like a mixture of booing and yaying in the crowd.
Okay.
You do as well as you can. And then the announcer goes, and on the other half, we've got a new contender to the competition, fresh on the stage. It's me, Myrtle.
Yes, me, Myrtle, yes.
I do the same thing, but just go like crazy and like, yes, go Myrtle, you've got this.
Yes, Myrtle, you're so loud. Myrtle.
You're so
Myrtle
mean.
flexes and tries to make all her armor kind of gleam in the sun.
Ooh.
Look how scary she is.
Okay,
so
so
mean.
I want Eve. I want you to make a d20, a 2d10 roll for me, a scurry roll at advantage for the cheering.
At advantage?
Yes, because
Why?
Myrtle is gleaming and glimmering.
Ooh, okay. Roll 2d10.
Nice.
That's a 7. That is success. You cheer and you look very enthusiastic, and you even catch the badger. Not many other people are cheering. They're all like, oh yeah, okay, cool, Myrtle, that's nice, mean Myrtle. And the badger, you see, kind of is not cheering at all for either of them, kind of glances over at you before looking back, the Orebeater. And then the turn says, all right, on the count of 3, users go wrestle. And the turn kind of like lifts up and starts to circle round the ring and goes 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4 while I find playlist.
I feel like you're changing the music.
2 5/9. 2 3/4 again. Where is it? Crap.
7/10.
3.
Yeah. Myrtle takes off like a shot, running at Vicky to try and kind of jump and climb her, I guess.
Immediately, Vicky also comes for you. Vicky scrabbles along the circle towards you, and then goes to swipe with a claw to just bat you off. Not a paw, not a claw, but just to bat you entirely off of the wheel. What are you doing in response?
I'm gonna try and see that coming and jump and try and get over her paw and still coming right at her, but jump.
Yeah, try and jump and latch onto her arm. Okay, so that's going to be a scurry roll for me.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's why I misspelled it.
5. You do as well as you can. So you jump over the swipe and then manage to get 2 of your front paws onto the fur of Vicky, and you swing, you dangle over the edge of the ring. There's like a woo, and you hold. You're now on the side of Vicky. Vicky then starts to shake and try and get you off. Like, what are you doing?
I'm clinging as hard as I can. I guess kind of sort of trying to get my back feet up and latch onto her arm. I guess it's probably not wise to try and climb anymore. I'm just kind of trying to cling and maybe hope that I can knock her balance a little bit so that I can get a bit more of a foothold.
So that's another scurry roll for me.
Okay.
Come on, Myrtle, you've got it.
Go, Myrtle.
Bend that arm back around. Get him.
Oh no.
Hijinks! Something goes hilariously wrong.
Oh, boy.
You are flung up into the air. The weight of the rings is around your waist. You're flung up, and Vicky at this point is a little annoyed that they couldn't just bat you straight off the ring, and so instead they just whap, slam you down onto the ring. An oddly cat-like look comes over their face as they bear down on you. You think they're gonna maybe have a bit of fun with you before they knock you off the ring. That counts as something bad. You got hurt. You are slapped down onto the ring. You catch your breath. You're now back in front of Vicky, who's now on their hind legs going, you idiot. I'm going to show everyone how good I am.
Myrtle
kind of
is
menaces
furious then. She's livid that she might be embarrassed above all in front of everybody. I think she's gonna kind of try and wriggle free and duck in, like, and get behind Vicky and grab onto her tail, I think.
Okay. You can take a damage. Something bad could happen for this to take place, or you could try and roll.
I think I'm gonna take the damage and take something bad happening. And yeah.
So you dart forward and you concoct a genius plan in your head. You leap up as if going for Vicky's face, and Vicky defends, which is what you want. She slaps you down onto the ring, but you use that momentum to roll forward and dart through the fur of her legs, and you're now behind her on the ring.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity. What do you want to try and do?
I'm gonna try and run up her back.
Yes!
That is going to be a scurry roll to latch on.
Okay, yeah.
Ratatouille the squirrel.
Yeah. Can I use my what have I got there? Yeah, can I use my quick feet or?
Yes, I'll let you use your quick feet for this.
Cool. So that makes it 2. Oh my
So that is a
God.
3. That is a complication. You succeed, but at a cost. Vicky turns around and looks at you and swipes her wrapped tail to try and sweep you off of the ring, and she hits you. She catches you, and you then you then cling on with all of your limbs onto the tail, and sort of like a rattlesnake. You're sort of this jingling, rattling ornament at the end of Vicky's tail. She spins and then is dangling you over the edge, is trying to shake you off, and you're like, jingle, 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 jingle. You are firmly grabbed onto Vicky's tail, but she's holding you over the edge in the center of the ring. If I can find my mouse, I'm going to mark something bad happened. You're a little bit winded,
Myrtle.
but you're determined.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hold on!
Yeah, I look out at the others and kind of, while I'm trying to flicking everywhere as this tail is being flung everywhere, and try and kind of find where they are. Are they still watching? Oh God, everybody's gonna watch me fail. And yeah, then I kind of try. I'm still clinging to the tail, and I try and hook my feet whenever I next land. Hook my feet as hard as I can into like the edge of the platform, so that I've got her instead of she's got me. It's a tall order, but she's gonna do her best, I guess.
Okay, so that's going to be another D10 roll for me. Do you want to try and tag anything for this genius plan?
I'm not sure that I've got anything.
Does your main skill, because that's like an auto success?
Oh yeah.
The first time you use your
Find
guild
lines of
skill, it's an
weakness.
auto success for the whole scurry.
I mean, I guess find lines of weakness if there's like a weak point that I could grab in the ring, maybe, and cling on there so that I've got a really good foothold and have got her tail.
Yeah, there is a crack on 2 halves where like the ring is put together, because they're broken into halves so they can be carried easier, so they're just a massive wheel.
Cool.
There is actually a purchase that your little vol foot could lodge in and really get you in.
Great.
So yes, that's an automatic success. You kind of shift like a swing, if that makes sense, the weight so that the tail is then swung down and round. And I'm gonna say if this is the break here, and our squirrel friend is like on the ring like this. That's not what a squirrel looks like. The tail has gone round. You're now at her feet with your kind of foot lodged in here, and her tail is wrapped around the underside of the wooden ring.
You can like judo throw this squirrel over the head.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what she's gonna try and do.
I love it. Yeah, that's what it is.
So-
to use your opponent's body weight against them, right?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna try and do? How are you gonna try and knock the squirrel off?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I'm at her feet, I've got my feet super planted, I'm gonna quickly let go of the end of the tail and just try and pick up as much of the squirrel as I can and heft it off the edge of the...
Okay, that is going to be another roll for me, please.
Okay, oh my gosh.
Myrtle!
Myrtle! Come on!
Oh!
That is, you do as well as you can. You Vicky expects you to keep pulling on the tail, so when you release it, it unbalances her slightly, so it then flaps back out, so it's more like round here now. At the same time, you try and grab one of her forepaws and just throw her off the ring. You don't fully throw her off, but you do get her clinging onto the side of the ring with one arm and one leg. She's gonna half off. You see that there is now like murder in her look. No one has pushed her this far off the ring before.
I take just a moment kind of standing by her paws and sort of look down at her and then look out at the crowd, which is probably really foolish because but I'm properly milking this moment. And then I try and kick her feet off the edge.
Yes.
I'm going to say
like
it's the
flex.
moment that you start to look out at the crowd that Vicky's going to exploit. She does a dirty trick. She sweeps you out from underneath yourself with her paw that's clung onto the ring. No! And she flips you head over heels and you slam onto the wood.
Oh no.
Now, you can roll to try and regain your balance and take a damage at the same time. Or you can come up with a new plan that's even better than one that I've suggested.
If you're on your back, you would like kick.
Yeah, like you can take damage and be in a better situation, or you can not take damage and be like on your feet, on your back in a worse situation, or you can suggest your own even better plan that might be even cooler, and I could give you like cool stuff.
Could I, if I could really quickly wriggle off one of the chains that is adorning me, could I just kick that or chuck it at her face?
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's a little bit cheaty, but I feel like Myrtle is just livid right now.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be a scurry roll, but things go very badly if you try and take some stuff off. So high stakes.
Yeah.
Can you tag anything to make it?
Yeah, not really got.
It's okay if not. It's always I always forget. I'm like at the heat of the moment, I always forget.
But yeah, I don't think I've got anything particularly that high. So yeah.
Got this.
Great.
Go for it.
Myrtle.
Oh my
Myrtle.
Complication.
Oh no.
So this is where things get interesting. You throw, you're in the middle of the air, mid-fly. You throw one of the chains off, and you try to like do it in a lasso, but you just lose grip of the whole thing. It flies and it smacks the squirrel in the face and the nose, and on instinct she lets go of the ring and then lashes a claw back out as she gets her senses, and one claw on the ring. You, however, with the momentum, are now falling backwards off of the ring.
Oh no!
What do you do?
I try and... Is her
Like the
tail
wooden ring is
downward now? Like underneath her as she's kind of hanging on?
Yes.
I will try and grab her tail as I fall off of her.
Scurry
Okay.
There she goes and I go.
That is going to be a scurry roll for me.
Okay.
Tags, any tags? Quick feet again?
Yeah, maybe quick feet
feet.
with that.
Tell me, really sell me on the quick feet thing here.
Like, because she's mainly like a climber and a runner, like she's used to making these very quick little maneuvers as she's kind of running and jumping around in bushes and trees and things.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you have that.
Okay,
You can
cool.
roll with advantage. Yeah! That is a critical success! I'm going to say this is the triumphant finishing of the fight. The tail swings down and under. You grab onto the tail. Added extra weight. Vicky swings the tail down, not realizing you grabbed onto it. You skim, almost touching the stone ball underneath, and then flick up, using your weight to swing the tail. Vicky isn't expecting it, and her claw slips off of the wooden ring, and you trade places. As she goes down, you use the weight to flick you up, and then to triumphant roars, you land onto the wooden ring, a little off balance because of the heavy metal you're wearing, but on the ring. Vicky.
Myrtle!
You mess with Myrtle, you get the hurdle.
Yes!
Yes.
There
I
is.
just imagine it. She does like a 3-point landing and everything.
Okay, that's the question. 3-point landing for something bad or
No.
off balance sad landing.
No, she can stagger a bit, but once she recovers, she's like, yeah, arms up above her head, like, yeah.
You stagger and sort of like you kind of fall onto your face, but you kind of get up and like and you're sort of doing like a victory lap of the ring. Everyone was like, yeah, Myrtle!
She's so mean!
Yeah.
As
It's
you
squeaking
look-
like the tiny high-pitched squeaks of triumph as well. Like shrews have an almost ultrasonic squeak that you can barely hear.
Oh my god.
I love it. All the bats are like.
Would you say that Myrtle is really observant?
Not really.
Oh no.
Okay. No, that's fine. You do your victory lap of the ring. You feel super proud and happy. You have won your fight.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we
It's at
like
this
swoop
point.
down.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like in celebration. No, just like we swoop down and we like pick you up and like hold you up again, like up above our heads. And we're like, Myrtle. You did it! You were ferocious.
You were
I'm
so good. You were so
fantastic."
scary. You did it. You were falling and you fell up and you went down. And it was so exciting.
And you know, if you didn't have that beautiful jewelry on you, we wouldn't have been able to see you. But you're glinting and shining, and you were magnificent.
Everyone saw you.
Did you see anybody like important looking noticing at all?
Oh, I mean, how could they not? How could they not pay attention to you? You were fantastic.
The Orebeater was watching.
Oh, that's something I guess.
Very
maybe.
important.
Yeah.
You look over at the Orebeater, who isn't actually sitting where they were before. They've moved.
Oh.
Oh.
Well.
Where was this Orebeater then? Were they not? I thought I put on quite a good show. Like Myrtle's already offended that somebody's moved on.
You very offendedly, you look around and you spot the Orebeater standing on a nearby, like near a nearby rock, seemingly chatting and glancing over at the ring with a hare wearing a green waistcoat.
Stop it, Brian. Don't. I think Struan will kind of like cock his head a little bit lower and go, Myrtle, I think that Orebeater is talking to a Tanner. I recognise that hare. I've heard tales of them all across the lands.
Really?
That's Greer, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Who?
All of the bluster leaves Myrtle. Like she's instantly like really nervous.
Oh.
Oh, come, we must introduce you. Come on.
Really? Okay. Oh my god.
It is at this point that you realise, looking over your shoulder at the sun, the flight competition is going to start in minutes.
Oh.
Oh, feathers, beans. Okay. Well, we can make quick introductions. We know where to find them.
Yeah.
I got that.
We can come back. Yeah. Do your thing.
You've definitely caught their attention, though, Myrtle. You've done brilliantly. Well
It was
done,
so
well done.
good.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, we should probably dash away. Come off we pop, Suzie. Let's test this thing out.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh yes, let's go. Susie's like, oh, right, okay, Myrtle's thing is over now. Back to me.
And then we'll, I suppose if Myrtle's coming with us, we could like pop you on our like wing or on our back or something, and like.
Okay.
But yeah, I
speak a
can
bit
carry.
faster.
I'll carry Myrtle.
Okay.
So that's the question. Is Myrtle going over to talk with the two figures who seem to be glancing back and forth, or does Myrtle go with the crew?
She has a little moment of kind of indecision because like she does want to support them, but also this is important maybe. So she's like, I'll catch up with you. You go do your thing. I will be there. I promise. All right.
A great show.
Okay.
You're
Good
gonna do
luck.
great. You've already done
Okay.
great, and you're gonna do even better.
Okay. You're gonna knock it out of the park. Like go fly circles around those guys.
Of course, darling.
All right. See you in a bit.
So you start to kind of like make what could be not a long journey, but definitely an interesting one, trying to get up these like stone seat steps towards this group at the top of the little peak there. While you two, Suzie and Struan, go off to get to the flying competition. It is on the north cliff, looking down adjacent to the crossing lock below. And you make it in time for the briefing. There is a crow there who, Struan, you recognize, is one of the runners of the festival, and says, "All right, everyone in the competition will be flying twice around Houndstooth, under the fragrant arches, through the split springs, past the short stop, through the cave, and then land with your claw on the painted rock before coming back on the rising winds to get back here. It'll be first come will get the prize, which is leading the parade this year."
Oh my goodness. Suzie, do you realize the first prize? That
Yes.
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Oh.
I just want to make sure the wing works, but
Oh, I
sure.
mean, yes, of course, but we could be leading of the pride of the parade.
Is that-
Oh, goodness. We
is
look
that- a big thing? Is that a good thing?
I mean, think of the attention, darling.
Oh, yes,
why would it
okay.
not be?
My
We would
wing
all
will
get
get so
noticed.
much attention. Yes, okay, I understand.
We would all be so noticed, and we're also sparkly with our new things. Oh,
Yes.
okay, we have to make this happen.
Yes, and Myrtle
Okay.
must be there as well.
Oh, of course, they'll catch up. They'll be fine. Okay. Oh, right, we better listen.
So the crow is going around and is sort of like mumbling through his beak a little bit as the other birds. There's a very young, small falcon, a sparrowhawk even. There are a couple gulls. One of them has got like the black head and the short, fat black beak. You know that they've got. One of them is a seagull. There are a couple crows. There's a rather self-important, puffed-up dove, and a battle-scarred puffin.
Oh wow.
And
I love that.
the crow's now mumbling. The leader of the event is kind of going past and says, "Right, I will be watching you from the cliffs here. You need to get your foot dipped in this here paint." And you see that he's got like a seashell of bright orange paint. He's dip your claw, and he puts the shell down. Make sure that you paint your claw on the rock below. If you don't paint your claw, you don't complete the run. It's conditional. Make sure you don't scrape that claw or anything or crash, because then it will make it all muddy. If we can't make out your claw to verify, you won't be leading the parade. You hear?
Right. Noted. Of course. Right.
Oh, you're gonna get your
Notice that-
claws all mucky.
You notice that the pigeon immediately plops his claw in the paint and then plops his then painted claw on the ground to get ready to take off, and then realizes he's just covered it in dirt and goes, "Oh," and then sort of like rubs it off on the ground and then plops it again and sort of like hops over to the edge of the cliff, like ready to go. Yeah.
Sorry, really quick. Is Suzie taking part in this, or was she just along to look after the wing? I can't remember.
Suzie can take part if she wants to, or can fly from a distance to observe it in action.
Okay, she's going to observe.
Okay. Strum will kind of hop forward and we'll kind of brush a claw or foot on like the other leg to just clean it first, and then we'll take out a perfect impression in the paint, and then we'll kind of hop over to the starting line. Wish me luck.
Yes, good luck.
Okay.
There is bated breath on the edge of the cliff, just the wind blowing past, just gentle.
I think Strum takes a moment there to like let the wind rustle his kind of feathers, and he just kind of flourishes again and just kind of like shivers a little bit, and they kind of fizzle up around his neck. Kind of glint in the sunshine.
The other birds also do the same. They feel the warm wind. They seem to bask in the afternoon sun, and they look down and see a lovely warm expanse. You see the houndstooth before you, a large kind of strut of rock. The fragrant arches are two gorse bushes that are kind of interwoven, and they have like tunnels kind of like woven and carved through them with bended willow bark struts. The split springs, which is a cave with a water, like a river running over into in front of it, and the kind of the two streams of water. The short stop, a crag of the cave inside, and then past it, the pond that the spring runs into, where you're meant to paint your claw print.
Marvelous.
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
a 3, a 2, a 1, go! And all of the birds immediately jump off of the edge of the cliff and dive down.
Yeah, so the first thing I would want to do is use my attack of my powerful wings, is take like a huge swooping kind of like push to get myself going, and then just tuck right into a dive to get myself.
That is
going to
be a scurry roll for me if you want to roll twice.
So, yeah, no worries. Oh, I'll take
success,
please.
You do as well as you can. You spiral round the houndstooth once, but the falcon, the sparrowhawk, is nipping ahead of you with lithe aerodynamic form. Splays its wings out, whoosh, whoosh, dipping around the houndstooth. Is there anything you want to try and do to get ahead of it?
I would like to kind of, again, powerful wings kind of beating up, but then kind of I'm going to tag my talent of perfect form and kind of tuck in and kind of curl around and try and catch one of the breezes to kind of glide along the air that way. And kind of curve
to sort of like perfectly get yourself ready to spiral through into the fragrant arches.
You know when you do that thing in Mario Kart when you like hit the brake and you're kind of like hovering on the corner and you get little like orange sparks? That's what I'm doing. So, like,
oh my god, you're getting blue sparks but in the air.
Yeah, blue sparks, that's what I'm doing.
So that is going to be another 2 rolls for me, please.
Sure thing. Oh, baby.
Critical success. Yes, you get those orange sparks, those blue sparks. You whoosh, you hit a cold draft of air, which brings you down at just the right speed to bring your descent through into one of the fragrant arches. Now, there are several arches here, varying in size. Do you want to go for the big and open that many of the birds are going for, or do you want to try and go for one of the smaller, tighter arches?
Oh, God. I'm gonna go for one of the tighter arches to try and like cut past a few of them. Yeah.
That is gonna be. You're gonna take damage from the thorns as you go through it.
Okay.
So they start to, as the brush here is very, very tight. The gorse flowers streak along you, leaving stains of yellow on your waistcoat. And the die shrinks to a D8.
Oh no! Okay. It's fine.
As you dive through the brush, I'm going to say narratively, our camera spins away, and up we see Myrtle standing at the top of Sun Perch, looking between the 2 figures, which, Myrtle, you are very close to. And then looking down and seeing 2 familiar cats slinking down the side of the cliff towards the racetrack. They are the cats that you poked earlier and earned the ire of. They seem to be going towards the race. What could they be doing? They've got a tarp in one hand, or like under one arm.
Oh no, that can't be good, right? That can't be good. Myrtle looks up at the people that she was there to meet, the hare, and kind of pauses and kind of moves across to try and looking down and see just where those wildcats are heading, and can she see any more of what they're doing? Should she go after them instead? She's just trying to kind of see anything more to help her kind of figure out that decision.
I'm gonna say make a scurry roll for me to try and discern what's happening.
Okay. I've got a clever nose if there's anything I could smell to help. I don't know if that would help at all.
Okay, yeah, I'd let you roll with advantage.
Okay, cool.
2 critical successes. I'm gonna say
nose.
you've got an incredible nose. You smell all sorts of fun smells on the breeze. There's mallow flower jelly in the markets. You can smell bitter yarrow soup in the eateries that are close by. You can even smell roasting trout as well. But through all of those smells, you smell something that shouldn't be on this part of the wind. You smell pitch, warm and sticky.
Oh no.
And you think it's coming from down cliff.
Right.
Those cats can't be up to any good.
Yeah, that's not good. That they're doing something. I cast a longing look back at the hare and I run after him.
You dart down the cliff towards the cats. I'm gonna say, Struan, you are making your way round through the fragrant arch you've passed through, and now the split springs are coming up ahead of you. There are streams of water that are blowing rapidly in the wind, and you know that water is cold and refreshing, but also very easy to douse the unsuspecting bird. How do you want to try and navigate through these streams of water that are falling down from the cliff?
So I think I want to do that thing where, see, obviously flying like kind of horizontal to the ground. I want to do the thing where you kind of turn and you're going more like vertical. So the kind of oh my god, the Star Wars fucking Millennium Falcon thing where it just turns through and nips right in between.
So you roll. That determines roll. So you roll so that your left wing is pointed to the ground and the right at the sky, and you fly against the cliff face to try and go underneath these streams of water, so you can nip into the cave. That is going to be a scurry roll.
Slimmest of forms. Can I tag my natural grace?
Oh yes, you can.
Stunning.
Oh, critical success!
Nice.
You weave in and out of the water, and you see behind you the pigeon, who is rather puffed up, tries to do the same, and crashes into one of the streams of water and is washed down into the pond below. Unharmed, but out of the race. But you whoosh, 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 weave into the cave. It is now shockingly dark in here. You have to navigate the tunnels, the sharp stops in the crags. You come up against a wall and have to stop very quickly and fly up. It is very difficult to navigate in here, especially with the puffin hopping behind you, trying to get past you. What do you do?
Okay, so I want to try and make myself. I don't know what I can think. I'm gonna use my kind of talons and claws and kind of stick my legs out a little bit, so they're not super as aerodynamic, but so that I can kind of feel if there's any bumps or claw or rocks or anything that is going to come in the way, and try and just have a slight better sense of where I'm going.
Make a scurry roll
try and,
for me.
Knock the puffin out of the way with my claws. Either or.
Oh, are you gonna try and knock the puffin out of the way? Quick decisions.
Are they really close by? Yes. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Okay. I
Nimble
want you to make a
talons.
scurry roll for me, but the stakes are high.
Oh, okay. Tagging my nimble talons, is that an advantage?
Okay, sure.
Ah!
Oh. So you knock the puffin back, and you try to make it look like an accident, but they give you a really dirty squawk. They, what the heck are you doing? And they kind of knock into one of the sides of the wall. You clip over a piece of rock, ledge, and down, and you see coming ahead of you bright tunnel illuminating as you come forward. Myrtle,
Sorry,
you have scrambled down the cliff towards where these cats are, and they seem to be at the entrance of the shortstop crag, and they've got their tarp out, and they've covered it in pitch. They seem to be waiting to throw it down on whoever's going to come out.
Oh no.
Oh no. What can she do? I think she's there. Complete fearlessness. She's just gonna go up and jab one of them in the foot. What are you doing? Stop that.
So you jab one of them in the foot, and they go, meow, no, it's you! And they try and swipe down and swipe to knock you off of the top of the crag.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna run and try and lead them away and try and distract them, basically, so that they miss as the birds are coming out, because clearly that's what they're needing to do. So if I can distract them, then hopefully.
So that's going to be a scurry roll for me.
Okay, can I use my quick feet for that? Given
Yes.
that I have quick feet. Good.
Do you think Suzie would catch the glinting of our copper?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
she sees something, and her first thought is, "Oh, it's Myrtle," and then her second thought is, "Oh, it's Myrtle."
And cats.
Yeah, it's not going well.
She's kind of torn because she's been following the race so far, but she sees that she sees something
there's
going
2
on.
d8s as well. Sorry, I rolled that wrong.
She's maybe gonna redirect her flight to go see what's up.
Okay, that should. Oh my gosh, that's no
You
better.
you just managed to distract one of the cats, but they're not moving. They've got the tarp ready. They are about to throw it. Suzie, this is your chance to swoop in and do something if you want to.
Okay. I'm going to tag Deft Flight. And I'm going to just swoop in and as like, you know, as I'm nearing, I'm seeing that it's my little shiny friend versus 2 huge cats, and I'm getting in there. I think I'm gonna go in and nip at them somehow to just sort of like distract them. I do have sharp beak, so would I be tagging deft flight or sharp beak?
I'd say either or. They don't give you like triple advantage, so you
Yeah.
just roll. Yeah.
Okay, I will simply go. So roll 2d8, please.
Nice.
That is a success. Now, do you want to do this in a way that will totally disable the cats, or do you want to do it in a way that might disable the cats and have an unsure outcome? If you do it that will disable the cats, it will give you damage.
I will do that. I will disable them.
Nice.
And take the damage.
And take it, yep. Absolutely.
You figure the best way to stop their nefarious plans is to leap straight at them. With your claws and beak and wings out, you flap into both cats, you knock them over, and in the process are wrapped up in their tarred tarp.
Oh no.
Oh no, I will say, I think the reason, because I don't think it's very characteristic of Suzie to do this, as I'm going in there, I'm trying to, what's the word? Channel my Myrtle energy. I'm like, what would Myrtle do in this situation? Something stupid. Let's go.
Exactly.
You imagine you're going to be like, the hammer strikes the anvil. I'm an Orebeater. I am unstoppable. Slam. You're wrapped up in the tarp. The cats go head over tail and yow! And they go, damn it, we're rumbled, and they scramble away. Myrtle, you are now kind of standing triumphantly atop your friend, and you're like, stay out. And our good friend Stuan, you emerge just as this happens from the cove, and you swoop out in front. This is the final hurdle. I want you to make one last check for me, one last scurry roll to see if you can make it to the painted rock before any of the other birds.
Okay, question. Is it going up or down?
Down, it's a swoop.
Like, am I going up? Okay, stunning. Can I tag my auto-success, my aerial harvesting, precise diving, and collection of materials and things? Mainly
Yes,
for the precise diving.
I will let you do that. Technically, the rules are that once any skill is tagged, it's no longer an auto-success for anyone.
Oh, is
But-
it? Oh, well, I'll have
yeah.
to roll.
Roll
I didn't
for
realize
it,
that.
but you have advantage.
Stunning. So let's do 1 and 2.
Yes! Success. It is neck and neck. The falcon is like diving ahead of you and is going... They are ahead of you. And it is like beak to beak. You're getting there and getting closer and closer. The falcon is ahead of you, but you are better at thrusting out your claws to grab things. You manage to blank, hit the rock first, push off, spin round really quickly. The falcon kind of manages to also get their claw onto the rock, but then skims over the water. You have a head start. You get towards this warm spiraling winds. You spiral back up to the top of the cliff and land in first place.
Yes!
Nice. I'm gonna land like one claw, like very graceful landing, very like one division, one leg down first, arms up at both sides, or wings at both sides, and just like, a little like flamenco flourish kind of thing, like and shake off my feathers a bit.
Can Myrtle
You
see
shake
this
off your
happen?
feathers. Yes.
Okay, I'm imagining if Myrtle is celebrating, I can't see it. So
Yeah, Myrtle's
I
kind of celebrating and also trying to unwrap Suzie, but also stopping and going, yeah! And keeping her, oh no, wait, no, I really need to unwrap this tarred owl, but also, yeah!
Susie's just like, "Ah," kind of, just because of the Myrtle celebration.
Yeah. You're sort of like waggling your legs.
Yeah.
In fact, you get up and you look like an owl wrapped in a carpet. You kind of flop up onto your legs and you sort of like, you've got your head poking out one end, your legs the other. You sort of like walk your way over to the painted pool where the rock is and sort of soak the tar out of your feathers. As you get up and shake Stuan, the prototype skeleton falls to pieces off of your wings, clearly not up to the effort and needing further refinement. But with all of your activities accomplished, I think this is the time to start wrapping up towards an epilogue for today's Scurry.
Stuan kind of points to he takes a side step from the skeleton. It's like, that wasn't me. I didn't know who that was. That was there before it ended. Marvelous.
So, to wrap up, I first have to look at the Scurry die and then find in my own rules that I wrote and totally have memorized, of course, what this means for the Scurry. So I'm going to go to the PDF that I have on my desktop that I have memorized because I wrote this game. I know exactly what's happening. Ending a Scurry. If the beasts achieve their goal and escape any danger, the essence concludes the outcome of the Scurry in an epilogue. The size of the Scurry die determines the ending. It is a D8. You guys are exerted. The beasts have broken a sweat but pulled through in the end.
Yes.
Seems about right, yeah.
We are triumphant.
Yeah.
So, after washing off the tar from your feathers, I'm just going to go in order. Suzie, you managed to retrieve the semi-broken skeleton, take it back to the Orebeaters, and spend the rest of the day with our lovely prosthetic Orebeater, sort of kind of talking about the skeletons, talking about the process they want to work on, how it fell apart, and kind of feeding in notes. It might not be an apprenticeship, but it's definitely a claw in the door.
Yes.
Aww.
Next up we've got Stuan. First place prize winner, you get to lead the Pride Parade that is at the end of the first day, and get to be front and center of attention, which I think is all you've ever dreamed of.
Oh, darling, this is marvelous. This is so fantastic. I think at some point Stuan would gather up the other two and like have you both kind of like under his wings and be like, oh, we look fantastic. We're all glowing and glistening and oh, go us. Happy Summerfest. Or Sunsfest. I forgot the name of it. Sunfest.
Sunfest.
He's a little drunk on happiness.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, again, last but not least, Myrtle. You are celebrating with your friends for most of the day, and it's only the day after that, as you're walking through the market and picking up some breakfast food, because Sunfest isn't just a single day, it's a whole week, you catch, or in the corner of your eye, you notice a certain hare in a green waistcoat who's been trailing you for several stalls now, waiting for you to notice. You manage to strike up a conversation with a tanner who introduces themselves as Greer and says that you might be interested in a more formal introduction to some of the other beasts of the woods, and introduces you to a very private, not in a selective, but just in a very secluded group of beasts who call themselves tanners and share a set of very important but not necessarily appreciated skills in the woods.
Yes.
Amazing.
And I think that is where we're going to end today's Scurry for Sunfest.
Yay!
Fantastic. Clack, 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 clack.
Give me the worms. Oh, that was really fun, guys.
That was lovely.
That
That was
So
such a
great.
nice, happy session.
Just, a cheery little adventure.
Much less threatening than the last Scurry I played, where I was attacked by a nest of wasps.
Oh my god.
Oh god, yes. You play tested one of the Scurries in the actual book.
Yeah.
And
It did not
that
go
is,
well.
That's a fun one. That is a fun one.
Yeah.
So I think we should end just by reintroducing ourselves real quickly, as well as maybe one of the projects that I think all of you are a little excited to talk about. I have been Brian. I use he, him pronouns. I run Dungeons on a Dime. I run Beast Fables. I have Scurry that's coming out. You can find all this. You know where to go. I was joined today by Fraser, Eve, and Letty. Fraser, do you want to quickly reintroduce yourself?
Sure thing. Hi, I have been Fraser. I go by he, him pronouns, and you can find me online under the alias of Lost Astronaut. You can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/lostastronaut. I am like a character artist and illustrator, and up to lots of fun projects. You can also check out the other D&D, or the TTRPG live stream I do called Clockwork Order. Details about that are all on my various social medias and platforms, so check it out.
Eve, do you want to say hello?
Hi, I was Eve. My pronouns are and were and will be they them. Well, will be, I don't know.
Who knows?
I make the webcomic Inhibit, which you can read at inhibitcomic.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Eve G. Wood. And I also run Quindry Press, which is a comics small press, which you can find at quindrypress.com.
Amazing. And Letty.
Hi, I'm Letty. I think I forgot at the start to say that I use she, her, or they, them pronouns. And I go by Toadlet with 2 T's at the end on Twitter and Instagram and pretty much everything, where you can find all my comics. And I've got a Patreon that I think is Letty Draws because I've not changed it over yet.
And you guys are all part of a very interesting the screen's looking nasty right now. Hang on, let me just resize it. Wait a minute. Hang on, it's getting there. Ooh, no, that's my Discord. Wrong.
We're the last 3 chips in the packet of
you can tell we're doing this live because it's messy.
Well, I'll quickly introduce what it is. So we're all working on the Chip Collective Kickstarter project just now, called Working in the Arts. It's a comic anthology, and feel free to step in if I get any of those wrong. It's a comic anthology interviewing various designers, creators, crafters, and artists of all their stories of how they've got into working in the arts and the general creative industry in Scotland. So we are all illustrating other people's stories and as well doing like a small feature on ourselves. And it'll be a very fun and like amazing project. I'm really excited to see it all come together.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like a really good way to read about how the people started their creative careers. So it'll be really good if you're ever interested in starting an artistic career, or if you are maybe the parent of someone who wants to go into an artistic career, sort of understanding the reality of that, what the many different paths are to getting to this one singular creative point. It's going to be a really, really good project.
Yeah, it's really excited, and I think like the main thing coming out of it is that there are so many ways into the art, so it's quite, because it can feel quite daunting and monolithic, and it's a book about showing you kind of how there are a billion ways to get into this. So yeah, it's a really good project.
Chip is a really fantastic collective. I'm not part of it, but I have sponsored both of their big anthology books. They've been really, really cool. They're so nice at conventions, and they make and curate some fantastic work. So I really hope you guys go check them out. They have got 18 days left on their Kickstarter. They're only like 26% funded, which is a crime. I'm going to be sharing them after this stream. I hope you guys go check them out. And thank you guys, everyone, for joining me. It's been a really, really fun adventure.
Thanks for having us.
It was absolutely lovely.
Thanks for running it, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we will all see you on a Thursday sometime in the future. And for now, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.